So, dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable with yourself and relax your body. So, let me get connected with our other network and then we're ready to start the session for today. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable with yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we try to share some basic information related to meditation and at the same time for your spiritual practice to develop a very clear path for you, and at the same time out of practice to develop your conventional life to become a better person, and through this journey to gain the ultimate liberation of the Nibbana. So it is a step-by-step process. So we are in a journey. So then you have to remember to take one step at a time. So when you take that step, if you become conscious and if you do it with your fully attention and with the effort, whatever available for you, and then your journey going to become progress step by step. So it is better most of time rather than how you do meditation. It is always better to start why you do this. So because when you come to that clarity, how to do going to become more easy. Otherwise, that if you don't know why you are here or why you practice yourself, maybe you go through many things, but still you cannot find a good result. And always you have to remember, out of this practice, what we develop, our understanding. And that understanding overall bring the ability for yourself to see things very clearly. So that clarity become a light for yourself to guide you, develop you, and allow you to grow through it, rather than rejecting, resisting, moving away from things. So today, when it comes to our life, we are boiling with many mental qualities in us. And that most of the time we are trying to fight with it or resist it and go away from it, and we're looking for something kind of like a more comfortable environment. But still day by day, anger and frustration and control and hatred, envy and jealousy, and insecurity and unworthiness, and guilt and shame, and suffering and depression, so anxiety and fear. So those are day by day becoming more stronger. But at the same time, every day we are look something to escape from this all. Then what you need to understand, it is better you use these all qualities as a soil for yourself to grow. So how you can do that? So in the very first level, you have to take this all as a part of the life and part of the nature. And that doesn't mean you're going to be with it and you're going to nourish it. No, the very first level, you have to accept it and just let it be. Why? Because then you have opportunity to focus yourself to something else. Otherwise, when you focus to these things, what happens? So this is the mechanism. When you focus to something, your attention going to be with it. So wherever your attentions go, it go with the energy. So then when you try to resist something, you have to put some energy on it because the attention is there. When the energy is there, you are there. So then how you can divert this, detour towards the inner happiness or the growth. So then it is very important yourself to know where to focus. And when it comes to that, if you always look for result and focus to that, it always going to become difficult for you. So then look into yourself and see where your attention and bring it to the present moment. So there are mainly three things that you have to put your attention. And out of this, everything, that is what we do. Not beyond that three things. So if you become very careful and if you become very mindful, the careful means here the become you mindful. If you know it very clearly, if you interfere with it mindfully, then your life most of time going to become more tuned to the law of nature. Another way we call it flow. What are those three things? So when it comes to Dharma, when it comes to all the sutras, most of the time it talk about these three things. And out of your practice, you gain the wisdom out of these three things. If you neglect one of these, there is no wisdom going to become fulfilled. So the wisdom means overall you become a master with this three field. So today we are going to talk about that. What are those three things? So one is your body. You have to more deeply understand the body, that yourself. So when it comes to all four foundations, it's dealing with this, your body. And most of the meditation technique, focusing to the body. And rather than imagination, rather than the emotions, rather than the desires, whatever outside, you become more focused to recognize the feelings. So for that, you have to tune to your body. And once you know deeply about this body, what happens, it opens a wisdom to entire universe. And your body is a part of the universe. And you are part of it. So then with the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness, and consciousness, and the space, these six fundamental qualities govern your body. So deeply when you come to this, you recognize how the change happens. So before the change happens, you can see this causation, cause and effect. Dependent origination within the body before you go into outside. So observing the body or contemplate on these four foundations, your feelings, your body, your mind, and phenomena. You are capable to recognize dependent origination. And another way, deeply, if you go a little bit more deeper, form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition. So, and out of this dependent origination, depending arising, what you recognize, how something arises depending from something, why something arises depending from something. There is a secret in you. This everything arises in you, even with all your perception, with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, to all the feelings, the thoughts, the desires, that everything arises in you with any feelings or anything, arise with you related to one reason. And how you depend, why you depend? Is there any way that you can be independent without depending? Is there any part of your body can be independent? So this dependent nature arises because deeply it bound to greed, hatred, and the delusion. And so in case, if your consciousness able to get out of the greed, hatred, and the delusion, it's not just word, the greed, you forget about the greed, or you go into it, the generosity. It is not the word. The deeply, fundamentally, as a primary source that you carry this greed, if you are capable to get out of it, then there's nothing going to arise in you. Envy or the anger deeply, this resistance also there. And then if you reduce that, if you get out of it, arising not going to happen. Ignorance also there. And believing there is a self or I am or kind of like that. If you get out of it, arising not going to happen. So that's why impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. This all conditions things impermanent. But still, Nibbana is not belong to conditioned things. That's why Nibbana is not conditioned by something. So what is that condition means? It is not conditioned by greed, hatred, and the delusion. So whatever other things arise in the world, conditioned by the greed, hatred, and the delusion. And in case if you are capable to get out of that greed, hatred, and the delusion from the intention, then you are in Nibbana. So otherwise it keep happening. So then when it comes to yourself, in day-to-day life, always remember, look deeply. And when you have intention to see something, then see it. But at the same time, you have to look deeper. What is the intention behind it? Why you see that? In that very level, you reduce the power of the intention. And when you reduce the power of intention, intention to see what happening, the appearance of that I object going to become more clear. This is a different way that you release, that you brush up the world. When you see something, rather than go towards the object. So it's like this. You look at this, and while you look at this, so now you can see this to your eye. And while you're seeing it, if you look at your intention in deeper, and if you reduce the power of intention, maybe, oh, this is a nice pen, or this nice color, or kind of like you try to bring different arguments. But if you reduce that, what happened? The power of appearance, the perception going to become more clear regarding this pen. So otherwise, what happened, even though we see our intention become a barrier itself for this outside object. So the ear the same, apply the same principle. While you're hearing, reduce the strength of intention, whatever coming from inside. Let that sound to come to you, accept it with the very clear, empty mind. In that way, you are capable to capture it to more wider, larger scale. The aroma the same, taste the same, sensation or the feelings the same, thought the same. So that's why when you observe it, you develop the ability of recognition. But if your thoughts come and interfere with the moment of experience, it reduces the power of recognition. So when you become with the body, what happened? This your mind everywhere keep going, keep running, start to come to your body. And by the time it's going to become more strong, and it bring the ability for yourself to settle down and take you out of the fear, frustration, and there is no control because it is your conscious decision, and you don't look for comparison, you don't look for any kind of validation, and it's nothing to do with any kind of desire. You just completely 100% settle down with you. In that very level, what happens, your entire brain and the whole nerve system going to react in different ways. Very freely it start to flow. Your entire body start to function in different ways. So being in the moment, being with your body, settling down itself is a skill. So then develop that quality day by day, little by little yourself. 1 minute, 2 minutes, just settle down. Don't jump, don't go here and there. Just be with the moment within your body. So that is one skill that you have to develop, and it will take you deeper to understand how this cause and effect bring the change and why it happened that way. Another one is the people. That is one of the major part of your life. So this journey, you can't go just by yourself. You need people. That doesn't mean you always need good people. It's not like that. It's not the kind of like always you have to find a good person. You have to stay away from wrong people. It's not like that. It is totally different way of understanding when it comes to people. So when with the people are kind of like going to become a mirror for us to see, and it will help us to recognize inside us. So then being with people and knowingly or unknowingly, somehow it's going to become a blessing for us. But of course, in the conventional life, we can't be with everybody. And sometimes we have to find we can't be with the wrong partners, wrong people around us. We have to be hard on us to stay away from some people in the conventional level. But you have to remember how far we can go like that way. So then you have to build up a skill yourself out of any person to brush up yourself and become more better person to you. Because once you become more better person to yourself, you are capable to give the best out of you to other people around, whoever. So then just imagine there are 100 people around us. And then maybe there's a very bad person. And 99 people and averagely 50 people are very good. And because of that, all the good people and the nice people around us, that one person that become more kind of like a dark person to us, because we have 50 people, nice, good. And other 49 people averagely, half and half. And because of that, sometimes again, that one person, it become more dark, black character. So then just imagine by the time you're going to live another planet, And then all that good people, 99 people, not there. Only this one person going to be there and going to become your neighbor. So then how are you going to do that? Because when there's no one, if only one person there, you have to, somehow you will find a way to be with that person. Because if there's no one, you will come back like the Neil Armstrong. He went to the moon. No one there, he came back. Wherever people always go there. That's how it is. Wherever, when there is no people not going to be. Whoever, why the cities become more, larger. Why? Because wherever the people go there. That's how it is. So then just imagine then, how are you going to deal with that one person? And then all the good and bad disappear. You just will, maybe that person going to become your best friend, best person. Because why? Only one person there. But within this 100 people, you have no capacity to do that. Why? Because you have 50 people around you. More, you think they are so good and, so like that when it comes to ourselves in this conventional life, it always comparison. It always going to depend on according to our place, time, environment, and that kind of things. But when it comes to people, when it comes to the spiritual practice, you have to remember, you have to go beyond that. And so whatever that the environment or whatever the people around you, rather than clinging to them, hold it to them, depending from them, resisting them, you do your best, and at the same time you become a better person. But the very first thing, you have to become a strong person to deal with people. Otherwise, sometimes their energy will suck you. It's always like that. When the people come together, if we become like them, or they will become like us. So then it is you have to be very careful. If you have all the good things in you, it is good for you and it is good for them. Even you go towards them, if they become like you, it is good. And even you become there, and if you go there with them and you can give your best, and in their life, your part going to become more clear. But otherwise, if you always we develop the greed, hatred, and the delusion, it always going to be there like that. So this dependent origination. So this origination depend from the greed, hatred, and the delusion. The same thing happened with the people also. Remember that. Whoever going to be around you, if you have the greed, the greedy people going to be around you. If you have the hatred, the hate people going to be around you. If you have the ignorance, the more ignorance people going to be around you. And at the same time, if you develop the loving kindness and compassion, the same kind of people have ability to come towards you. If you develop the generosity, and the same kind of people going to be around you. And if you are look for the wisdom, if you develop the wisdom, wise people are going to be around you. So you build up circle. At any time, in any point, you are capable to change that circle. So when you take a conscious decision, what happens? Your energy start to flow towards that conscious decision. And wherever your attention, your energy start to flow towards that. And from that point, what happens? If that intention related to greed, hatred, and the delusion, your energy start to generate that. And when the energy start to generate, it has power to accumulate, absorb the same kind of energy around it. And if you develop the loving kindness, compassion, generosity, and the wisdom, so that your intention come from that, your energy start to flow towards it. And then out of that, what happened? It start to absorb the same kind of energy related to loving kindness, generosity, compassion, and wisdom. So that's why I always look into intention. And don't look the outside people. Don't go with their identity. Don't go with their gender. It's nothing to do with anything. When it comes to people, always remember deeply they connect to your intention. It's not even to your physical body. It's deeply related to the intention. That's why eons by eons after some people, they found the Buddha. And then when they found the Buddha, in some stories, the Buddha said, oh, it is not even in this time, previous life, and 500 times in the previous lives, he used to be like this. She used to be like this. Or even that both of them not together in this life, previous life also they used to be like this. How that? It's not the person, because completely the physical structure is different, but still the intention, the energy go towards that. So that's why look into that. When it comes to people, don't struggle, don't fight, don't resist with their outside layers, and slowly recognize the intention. And they are with you for a reason. And then if you change that within yourself, if you take it out from you, they're not going to be there anymore. So that's why. Look deeply, and when you practice meditation, it gives the clarity. And otherwise, if you always try to deal with these outside things, where are you going to end, and how far you can do that? So then remember, out of practicing this meditation or your spiritual development, one is the physical body, another one is the people. The third one is the time. That is one of the major, the important pillar in our life. So procrastination is a kind of like becoming a very, very hindrance for us, because we always neglect or the postpone or become very delay. Or we'll do something later, we'll do later. And finally, everything will change, disappear. This time that you have will never come back again. We all towards one destination. For sure, you and me, we all one day going to meet that destination. For sure, 100%. That is our death. It's going to happen. We all this everything belongs to time. So then always remember, whatever you do, in this conventional level, it bound with the time. And so then by the time, that what we feel, what we see, what we hear, this everything change according to the time. But most of the time we don't see. So as example, I can hold this cup. This cup is not a heavy this much. I can hold it. I'm strong to hold. So then how about, how long if I hold this? This going to change. What I feel going to change. Maybe 5 minutes, okay. And how about 10 minutes? Maybe how about 1 hour? Oh, and how about 1 day? This becomes so heavy, 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 heavy. And then by the time, maybe it will break my hand. How? Because the time. But most of time we don't recognize that. Why this greed, hatred, and the delusion became the very reason for becoming? Why this everything inside us depend from the greed, hatred, and the delusion? Why it is the reason or the foundation for arising? Because we used to hold it for a long time. So this is a technique that you can practice at any time. So it doesn't matter, greed, hatred, or the delusion is there, but once you recognize, just drop it. Don't hold it. Once you drop it, it becomes powerless. But you can't drop it and just be empty. What you need to do, that's why you drop it, the greed, hatred, and the delusion, you drop it, and right away you hold it to generosity, compassion, loving kindness, and wisdom. So in that way, it cannot replace again quickly. Maybe by the time it come back, again you have to, once you recognize, drop it. Don't give any chance for greed, hatred, and the delusion within yourself. Period. Don't give any chance. If you recognize right away, this is greed, this is hatred, this is delusion, or the ignorance, don't give any single chance. And then when you have conversation with others, maybe it's your best friend or the good partner, or maybe your husband, wife, or maybe your child, or maybe your parents, or maybe your guru or the monk or the teacher or the whoever, anybody. But don't give any chance to share their greed, hatred, or the delusion. Don't give any chance. That doesn't mean you go into arguments, but you're not going to accept it. That's it. Because if you hold it little bit, this timing part, it's going to become stronger. So then nothing wrong with the greed, hatred, or the delusion. What the problem is, we hold it for a long time, and then it becomes part of our life. But how about if you hold the loving kindness, generosity, compassion, wisdom, thoughts for a long time, then you're going to be with it. Then you become with it. So this timing part. So most of the time we neglect that. And we postpone, and we kind of like, oh, I know how to do, I can do it, I will do it. And by the time it disappears, like meditation. During the day, sometimes you feel, oh, I'm going to practice meditation a little bit. So no one around you, so everything there for you to practice a little bit, sit and practice. And at the same time, maybe TV is there to watch, or maybe computer or the cell phone, or maybe your phone in your hand. You can go Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, that kind of things. So now you have many options on the table. In that environment, oh, meditation, I can do it later. I can do it later. So like that, and so you pick up something and then you go with it. That timing, that 1 second of timing, that conscious decision you took can change the entire samsaric journey. So that's why when you come to that moment of timing, always merge with the highest thing. So in that way, by the time you develop some kind of skill, and in that very moment, 1 second, 1 minute, that you merge with the higher level of practice, and in your consciously, you didn't go with that cravingness, you back up from it and you settle down and you plant something very new to you. In that very level, entire your nerve system start to react in different ways. Your whole this biochemical reaction change, and you recharge, your consciousness start to recharge. So it will help you to break down this habitual pattern. And in that breaking down that habitual pattern, it start to bring different kind of wave system to you, and you feel that yourself more deeper confidence and higher level of awareness. And that itself bring the satisfaction. It's 1 minute. You didn't listen to, or you didn't go with something what you did. You just change the direction of your intention. That's it. So how about that 1 minute? You develop that strength. In the very next moment, it is very easy for you to do it. Right away, you can do it. No any kind of comparison or argument in you. Maybe from the beginning, once you do it, once you close your eyes, many options will come to you and many ideas pop up. You will give up. But the very next moment to take that decision and shift yourself, easy. And then by the time you develop it little by little, and you deeply work with yourself. And so through this practice, that's why we little by little, we keep focus our attention towards inhalation, exhalation. Because you close your eyes and keep working, and what happened deeper, even though you close your eyes, what happened inside yourself, that entire your mind, the brain, your nerve system, all these habitual patterns shifting to different level. So then if you can do it closing your eyes, open eyes, you can do it very easy. So then in day-to-day life with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, perception, you're not going to get disturbed out of it. You can see it's very clearly your attention going to be with whatever you want. So if you can do something with close your eyes, you can do it open eyes very easy. Practice it. Like in martial art, sometimes this shadow fighting, it's called kata, and you practice sitting down, close your eyes, you practice. And then after you open your eyes, you can practice anywhere. Otherwise, if you open your eyes and always practice, what happens? You always follow the directions. You follow the objects. Just imagine in front of here, I practice like this all the object, my left hand side this, my right hand this. So I always follow that object. So then how about I go to a very brand new place and open a stage. And once you start to perform, what happened? I lose my directions. It happened most of the time. Sometimes well practitioners, very senior people lose the direction. They start with the audience and they end with somewhere. So how you can get out of it? Close your eyes and practice. And then you're not depending from directions. And then when you open your eyes, in any place, your body know how to go. So the same thing, being conscious. So that's why sometimes some people want to practice open eyes, but closing eyes give the more ability yourself to shift from this inner level of desires and have a very clear attention, and behind that attention to see the intention. So remember these three levels. So one is the body, other one is people, other one is the timing. Those are the three fundamental sources that we deal with life. Out of this, all the machines, technology, this everything, science, religion, the spirituality, philosophy, out of this everything, we are trying to connect with these three things: the body, people, and the timing. If you are capable to deeply understand this, and then you will see what is the meaning of wisdom. And according to the Buddha's teaching, we always go with these three things, following the greed, hatred, and the delusion. That is the intention behind. So that is the power of the becoming. That is the power of connection. So if you reduce that with your body, people, timing, if you reduce the power of the greed, hatred, and the delusion, so by the time you come to ultimate freedom or the liberation, which we call the Nibbana. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. And your right palm on your left and neck, head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopateva. Oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens through the sensation, recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. Your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha mehi sampadam punya sampadam Sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjisami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.